Hey guys, and welcome back to the 18th day of the 25 days of Kitmas. That's already becoming a tongue twister. For this video, I'm going to be doing a real talk series with you guys, and I know you guys are going to be like, Julie, it's not makeup kit focused. You're not following along with Kitmas. And yeah, I totally understand that, but I had filmed this video before I even started with Kitmas. I think I filmed it maybe around like Thanksgiving, so end of November, and I never posted it because I was planning on releasing it in January after the Kitmas series was over. However, I've had a couple of weddings for back-to-back weekends, so I have not had time to film or edit anything for today's video and got really backed up, so I didn't have a video prepared for today, so that is the video now that you're seeing. I'm also going to be adding this to my Real Talk series playlist, but it is going to be talking about me going to esthetician school next year and everything about that and what my thought process is. It's a lengthier video, so if you guys want to grab a snack and grab a drink, then feel free to do so. I again apologize at the fact that it's not Kitmas themed, but I wanted to make it a part of the series because I just didn't have any other videos on deck for you guys. I have been doing really well so far, but I promise I will be doing an Amazon favorites video right after this. So I will be resuming my normal Kitmas style videos. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this Real Talk series. I'm gonna go ahead and just tell you guys why I decided to do this, why I'm not doing this until next year, how this is going to affect me as a makeup artist, and then also how this is going to affect my business. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you guys are new. For today's video, I'm going to be doing oh my gosh. For today's video, I'm going to be doing another one of my Real Talk series. I wanted to mainly center this on going back to school for cosmetology / aesthetics while she's getting the face pets. I wanted to start in with a disclaimer here. I wanted to let you guys know that I have not attended school yet. I cannot answer in-depth questions about what's going to go on in school, what the courses are. I will not be doing this until next November, so November of 2023. I'm also going to be doing this in my normal Real Talk series fashion, so I'm going to be doing my makeup while I'm chatting with you guys about this. All the products I'm going to be using on my face, I'm going to be linking in the description bar down below. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. First, I wanted to start out talking about the fact that there is two different ways that you can earn a license, and that is through cosmetology and aesthetics. Licensures are definitely different depending on your state, so you'll have to check with your state board of cosmetology to be able to determine the difference. I cannot help you guys out with that. I don't know the knowledge of like any other state except for Indiana. I wanted to tell you guys the difference between the two of them. So cosmetology is pretty widely known, I feel like, mainly doing hair, so you're doing haircuts, hair colors, and that's what it primarily focuses on. However, in the state of Indiana, if you have a cosmetology license, you can also practice as a makeup artist because they do actually go over makeup briefly. That's pretty much what cosmetology is. Now, with aesthetics, that is mainly focused on skincare. Facials, knowing about skin, how to combat different situations. With aesthetics, they do also cover other things dealing with the skin, so of course they cover makeup. You go over it a little bit longer, to my knowledge, than cosmetology, but you still don't learn it for like a long period of time. You also will learn eyelash extensions, waxes. That's pretty much what you get from esthetician school. So if you are a makeup artist that legally needs to have a license to work as a makeup artist in your state, then I would definitely go the esthetician's route unless you really care about hair. But I do not like care about hair at all. I do not want to even style people's hair. I don't want to cut it. I don't want to color it. Like, I have zero desire for that. And I hate that almost all people always ask me if I do hair, and I'm like, I don't even know why those things are closely related. Like, makeup and hair should not even be related to each other. Now, you guys are probably wondering why I chose to go to school after all this time. If you guys have been following my channel for a while and like saw other Real Talk series, you guys will probably know that in the past I was actually really against going to esthetician school just because I truly don't feel like the schooling prepares you enough to be a working makeup artist specifically, and that's why I really think it's essential to get some sort of professional makeup artist training outside of just going to school for it, because they only touch on it for maybe like a couple weeks max, like in esthetician school. Like, I don't really think that they cover it for a really long amount of time. It's mostly just focused on like spas and facials. I have worked for MAC Cosmetics. I worked there for 4 years, and I probably did like over 300 people's makeup, if not more, working for MAC during those 4 years, and I felt like that gave me the most training. There's also some cosmetology schools too that do not train people the right way to sanitize things. So makeup artistry with Indiana is kind of like a gray area, to be totally honest. Indiana State Board of Cosmetology is like very conservative. The board just doesn't recognize like freelancers as like makeup artists. So even if you have like all these certifications and all this training, like I have a certification from a makeup academy, they just don't recognize it like in the state because they don't think that freelancers exist. They think that the only people that actually do makeup are people that work in salons I have found out that you do need an actual license, which means you either need to get a cosmetology license or you have to get an esthetician's license to legally practice as a makeup artist in the state of Indiana. So if you guys live in Indiana as well, just know that you do need a license. But the thing is though, it's not like clearly stated with the state board. So that's like kind of why it's a weird like gray area with them. I don't want to have my business be shut down someday just because I'm technically working illegally. I mean, I feel like I have all the credentials in the world and I don't understand like why that's not good enough for the state board. I mean, unless I move into a different state at this point in time, that is the only time that is ever going to change, which is kind of dumb. Being that I have a husband that probably will never move from the state of Indiana, I just want to make sure that I'm doing things the right way. I don't want the state board to all of a sudden like find me out, you know, in a few years when my business is actually really thriving, and then all of a sudden I get shut down and then can never be a makeup artist again. I'm pretty much trying to prevent that from happening. It's not like I have just like gone ahead and like been a working makeup artist like on purpose without a license. Like I literally did not know that I needed one until now. I just think it's super weird though, because I filed taxes as a makeup artist for the past like 3 years now, and I just don't understand like if this is such a big deal, like why I haven't been called out for it yet. Don't get me wrong, like I'm glad that it hasn't happened, but I just don't understand like how it's been going on for this long and like nobody's actually said anything to me. I guess my business just isn't big enough for them to actually like recognize it or something. But now that I know about it, I want to definitely do something about it before it becomes a problem in the future. I also want to let you guys know, in case you guys didn't, that I do actually have a bachelor's degree. It's not anything related to cosmetology or anything. Originally, I wanted to go into police detective work. So I was actually thinking about becoming a police officer and then going into detective work after that and going into forensics. I watched way too much Criminal Minds and CSI when I was growing up, and that's pretty much what I wanted to do for a little bit before I kind of discovered my passion for makeup. And I discovered my passion through makeup like my junior year of college, and by that point in time I was already close enough to graduating that I just kind of finished it out. Before that, I wanted to be a family and marriage counselor. After a while, I realized that I did not want to go to school for like any longer than I had to. So that's when I switched my major and went for criminal justice instead. So now I have that bachelor's degree in public policy, major in criminal justice, and then I have a minor in psychology because I had enough credits to make psychology my minor. So yes, that just proves though that you can still be a makeup artist and be successful even when you did not go to school for it. And if I didn't have to have a license, I probably honestly wouldn't go to school. I'm doing like a little halo eye. I don't know how well you guys can actually like see this because I know there's a weird shadow that's happening, and also doesn't say light here super long anymore, which is super depressing. There was actually a vlog that I did last year that was talking about going to the Art 22 Academy in Fort Wayne, and was talking about how I was going to meet with them to go to esthetician school. And at that point in time, I had asked them if I needed a license, and they didn't honestly know. The school also was not accredited at the time. I don't want to go, you know, and pay thousands of dollars and not have it be recognized in like all the states that I go to. So since they weren't accredited and I didn't think I needed a license, I held off. I'm actually kind of glad that I waited a little bit though, because earlier this month, the cosmetology school, the Art 22 Academy, actually contacted me and wanted me to do a makeup demo and kind of just share my life as a freelance makeup artist, because they were having people come in to like, I guess, just show the students like what career paths that they could go into after they got their licenses. And I feel like that's a really good idea. That also kind of goes to show too though that the cosmetology school trusted me enough to teach their students how to do makeup on other people, and I feel like that more than qualifies me to work as a makeup artist in my state. I don't know. Hang on, let me do my wings and then I'll check back with you guys. So then after that happened though, I got in contact with some of the instructors, and I actually had shared with them that I was thinking about going to their school, because this is like after I learned that I needed a license. Since I was already there and I had like a closer relationship to them and they knew who I was, I figured I might as well talk to them about going to school again. So I ended up getting information from them over like what everything was going to cost, when the start dates are, and then I had to figure out with my own schedule when the ideal time for me to start would be. All right, I'm just going to put some glue on my lashes. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to basically talk to you guys about why I'm not going until the winter of next year, and that is because I have so many dang weddings planned for next year already. Like I have over 20 weddings. I think there's like 24 I think that I have booked in total as of now, and it would suck honestly having to reschedule all those weddings and try to find replacement makeup artist for all those brides. So I am going to go through with all the weddings that I have scheduled for next year, but I think the schooling starts November 14th of 2023. So basically from the middle of November on, I'm not going to be scheduling any weddings until like 6 months in. It takes about 6 or 7 months for us. I think we have to have a minimum of 700 credit hours in Indiana to have an esthetician's license, but I think the esthetician school that I'm going to is 850. So they like to go a little bit longer just so you get like the adequate training and just they're able to put more things into the schooling, which I appreciate. The school is also the closest to me, like from where I live, so that's why I also chose it as well. They are now accredited, so that's why I checked back in with them. As far as the actual scheduling goes, they are about 6 to 7 months long, as I said before, although I know that you have to take like actual clients at the very end and you have to have like a certain amount of services done. And don't quote me because I still have to meet with somebody in a couple of days to like put down a deposit and like do all the paperwork and everything. But I think if I'm able to get the amount of services that I need to graduate, then I might be able to get done earlier than the 6 months, but I'm not really sure. However, the reason that I can't book weddings though for that 6 to 7 months is because it conflicts with the scheduling for school. Their schooling runs from Tuesdays through Thursdays from 8:45 to 4 o'clock during the week. And then they also have mandatory days that you have to go to school on Saturdays. And that is from 8:45 to 2. Now I can still take Friday and Sunday weddings, but on Saturdays I will not be able to take any weddings. And that's gonna kind of suck, I'm not gonna lie. I also am purposely signing up for the schooling starting in the winter time because I know it's gonna be off season. If I go, say 6 months from then, so like April or May-ish or something, then I pretty much can start up like the May and June weddings after that. Hopefully still hit like the busier season if that makes sense. And then I'll of course be available for the fall time to be able to take like all the weddings because of course, as we all know, being a bridal makeup artist, fall time is like the busiest season for bridal. Now I know that a bunch of people are going to say, well, why don't you just find a schooling that you can go maybe to like night classes and that doesn't make you go on Saturdays. Now, the only reason I'm not doing that is because I seriously want to just get this done and over with. Like, I do not want it to drag out for several months. I also, unfortunately, will not be able to work at my office job because of that either. I do work part-time still at an office and I usually work Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and since the schooling goes through there, I won't be able to have an office job either, which means that I won't have an income. And I think the only thing that I'll have to get an income from is if I book weddings on Fridays and Sundays or through YouTube, obviously. So I'll probably be making a little bit more YouTube videos then, but I'm just not sure what the topics are going to be because I won't like obviously be working like as many weddings, so I won't have like wedding vlogs going on or anything. So hopefully you guys are still gonna stick with me during that time because I don't know what type of content that I'm gonna film. I'm kind of nervous about it, I'm not gonna lie. It just kind of sucks that I'm having to do it now. Like, I really wish that I would have done it like right after high school. Oh, and then also really quickly, the other reason besides just me wanting to get done with the schooling faster, the other reason I don't want to do night classes and like have to balance out like schedules and be able to still take weddings on Saturdays is because if I did that, I'd be working literally every single day. And I don't know if in esthetician school you have like homework to complete, but if I have to do that too, like on top of working my office job like during the weekdays or something and then doing weddings like all throughout the weekends, guys, that's gonna be a lot. Like, I would literally not get any sleep. I wouldn't get any homework done. Like, it would be a lot to balance with my schedule. Now I know you guys are probably like, okay, well, how much like is this actually gonna cost? Because I know that it's a lot. Yeah, it is. And now that this school is accredited, it actually went up like $5,000 more than last year. And I'm sure this also has to do with inflation. Like, as we all know, stuff has just gotten a lot more costly ever since 2020 happened and like the whole entire world changed. And then also cost of services went up because of course people can't like afford their own lives anymore. And so they have to raise their service costs. It's basically just a chain reaction at that point in time. I want you guys to know that it's not cheap. Like, that's the reason why I did not want to do this necessarily, especially with me having like a full-blown career right now, to like not having an income for 6 months and having my husband support me. Like, it's just kind of, you know, a really hard thing. I'm pretty much going to be resorting back to like me going in college and working a minimum wage job and like having to manage money a little bit better. That's pretty much how it's going to be. To be totally honest, like, I'm really fortunate to have a husband that fully supports me in this because not many husbands probably would just let their 30-year-old wives go back to school and like spend thousands of dollars of savings just to like get into that school. I also don't really want to finance it either because I don't really want any more payments. Personally, still paying on my student loans, which hopefully after the student loan initiative that goes through, and then hopefully I just won't have to pay them after like next year. But luckily that did get extended, so I don't have to pay them back until like the end of June of next year. But I'm hoping that next year's weddings I'll, you know, make enough to hopefully pay off the schooling before I even start it, and then I won't even have to worry about it. I don't like to really talk like heavily about finances, but I do think it's a very important thing to talk about because I like to talk to you guys about like real life situations, and money is unfortunately one of those things. And I don't like to talk about it too in depth or anything, but I do like to let you guys know like kind of where I'm at and what my mindset's at. As I said, the tuition went up about like $5,000 from where it was the previous year. And with that being said, I'll kind of give you like a range. It pretty much started out like a little bit above like $10,000, I want to say, for esthetician school at the time, and then it went up. So now it's kind of closer to the $20,000 mark, and it's a lot of money. I mean, if you guys just have that sitting around, like kudos for you, but most of us do not. So I'm basically just going to be working on trying to build up as much of money in our savings account as I can for next year with all my weddings that I have going on. I also have been super independent my whole entire life. Like, it's going to seem like I depend on my husband, and I totally don't. Obviously lived on my own for college, and I have not always had like a boyfriend that can support me or a husband that can support me. Pretty like strong independent woman per se, like on my own. I hate having the feeling of like depending on somebody for something. Like, I always need to pay somebody back for something. Like, I can't just have things like outstanding with people, if that makes sense. Like, I always want to pull my own weight with things. So just the fact that I'm literally going to have to like rely on my husband for this is literally killing me. I understand that that's like, you know, what husbands and like wives are for, to be like an emotional support system. I totally get that, for better or for worse. At the same time though, I personally do not like it. It's like one of those things that I'm gonna heavily struggle with. Comment below if you guys have had experience going through cosmetology school, if you went like straight out of high school, or if you're thinking about doing it now. Maybe you're a little bit older like I am. And I totally thought that I was like too old to go to cosmetology school again. And I just thought that I'd get stuck with like a whole bunch of like 18-year-olds or something right out of high school. But when I went to go teach that makeup class with the beauty school, there was actually a bunch of older students that were there. And so it kind of gave me a better like peace of mind. The other thing I wanted to quickly talk about really fast before I actually ended it, I almost forgot to mention this. I started off kind of hating the idea of going to esthetician school, but then I also realized that this could also be an extension of my bridal services that I offer to people. So normally when you're a makeup artist, mostly all of your events are kind of like scheduled on the weekends, especially if you specialize in bridal like I do. And then I have nothing going on during the week. Also, normally when you're a makeup artist, you don't have a lot of repeat clients, kind of like hairstylists do, because normally when you're a hairstylist, you usually do cuts, you do colors, and that's like services that people will like repetitively keep seeing you for. However, when you're a makeup artist, makeup is like a very, very special occasion thing. So it's not like people will just like constantly hire you like every couple of weeks to do it, you know what I mean? A lot of the times I only have like one and done clients where I just have that one bridal client or that one special event client and just never see him again. And that's not stable income. Like, that's the reason why bridal makeup artistry in general is so unstable, because you're just relying on weddings to make your income pretty much. A lot of times when you're a bridal makeup artist specifically, you have to kind of find either other outlets to have like other sources of revenue coming in, or you have to like expand on your makeup artistry services to do something else. So the fact that I'm going to esthetician school will allow me to do like brow waxes, facials, microdermabrasion, and also eyelash extensions. All those things that I mentioned could be add-ons for bridal services. There's a lot of brides that literally ask me what prep steps they should take or treatments they should get before their wedding day, meaning skin. And a lot of my brides have lash extensions. A lot of my brides get facials beforehand. A lot of them do like dermaplaning, which helps get rid of all the excess hair on your face. It's pretty much like shaving your face. I really think that if I was able to offer that as like an in-home service or something, then I could do that as an additional service to my brides. And it's also a way I could get repeat clients, especially during the week, to fill the gaps in the areas that I don't have clients going on, and it could just maintain my income for those weeks. That is also another option, and the reason that I kind of came more so to terms with doing estheticians schooling, and it wouldn't be a complete waste like outside of makeup artistry, because now that I think about it, like I am really interested in like learning those types of things. And I could also develop like an all-inclusive like bridal package or something where it includes like all the skincare treatments like beforehand, and then they also get the makeup application on the day of. So think about that if you are thinking about becoming a makeup artist, or if you already are a makeup artist and you're thinking about expanding your services, and either you do have an aesthetics license or you're thinking about going to esthetician school. Yeah, this is like so much better lighting, guys. I probably should have just filmed this over here. Oh well. Anyways, this is pretty much what I have for the makeup situation going on. I just did like a pink like halo eye. I just decided to play around with colors a little bit more. Pretty much that is all I have to talk about now. So if you guys did enjoy this Real Talk series, definitely go ahead and give me a big thumbs up. Definitely leave any comments or questions down below. I would love to have a chat about this because I'm still kind of nervous about this, but I am more excited about this now. As always, I hope you guys are having an absolutely amazing day, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. All right, bye. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling.